Hello everyone and welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most contradictory moments in British history, the Victorian era. We usually imagine it as a time of elegance and strict morality, but the truth was much more complicated. In this episode, I'll explain the double morality that defined Victorian society, and I'll give some real examples so you can really understand how extreme it was. A society changing fast. During Queen Victoria's long reign from 1837 to 1901, Britain changed dramatically. Cities grew, industries expanded, and London became the biggest city in the world. The middle class also grew and became obsessed with respectability, looking proper, moral, and clean. But here's the interesting part. Even though technology and science were improving, society became more conservative, especially about sexuality. Public morality, pure on the surface. Victorians wanted everything to be pure. They censored books, paintings, and even words. People avoided saying the word legs. Instead, they used the expression lower limbs because legs sounded too sexual. Another famous example, it was said that Queen Victoria ordered tablecloths to cover the legs of furniture so men wouldn't get ideas. We don't know if it really happens, but the fact that people believed it tells you a lot about the mentality of the time. Women had to wear long skirts, corsets that damaged their bodies, and many layers of clothes. Showing just an ankle could be considered shocking. Meanwhile, men had much more freedom, but only in private. Private reality, a hidden sexual world. Here comes the contradiction. Even though everyone talked about purity, Victorian cities had a massive sex industry. In London, there were basically 30,000 and 80,000 prostitutes during the mid-19th century. That's basically a city inside a city. There were elegant brothels for rich men, and extremely poor rooms where women worked for just a few coins. Many women ended up there because wages for women were extremely low. Some were even kidnapped or tricked with false job offers, and the clients, men of every social class, including politicians, clergymen, and university students. Society blamed the women, but never blamed the men who paid for them. Pornography and erotic culture. Even with censorship, pornography flourished secretly. The book My Secret Life describes hundreds of sexual encounters involving a Victorian gentleman. It completely contradicts the public idea of purity. Another example is The Pearl, a monthly erotic magazine full of explicit stories and poems, circulated in secret. There were also early pornographic photographs sold in hidden studios, often involving prostitutes who posed for extra money. And again, many of the men who consumed this material were the same men who publicly condemned immorality. Women, the main victims. Victorian society divided women into only two categories: respectable women, pure, innocent, asexual, fallen women, prostitutes, or anyone who broke sexual rules. There was no way back once a woman was considered fallen. Women were kept ignorant about sex. Most entered marriage knowing almost nothing about their bodies or desire. Doctors claimed that proper women did not feel sexual desire. If they did, they were diagnosed with hysteria. Treatments for hysteria were extreme. Doctors prescribed the rest cure, forbidding women from reading or doing anything stimulating. Others performed pelvic massage, basically inducing orgasms without calling them that. And in extreme cases, there were even surgical operations like clitoridectomies. Working class women suffered the most. Low pay, dangerous pregnancies, and harassment at work. So, The Victorian era looked pure and respectable on the surface, but underneath it was full of contradictions, secret behaviors, and double standards. This double morality affected women, the poor, and even colonized peoples. At the same time, the contradictions of the period inspired early feminist movements and later reforms. Thank you for listening. I hope this helped you understand why the Victorians defended morality so strong while breaking it in private.